clearly, investors cheered the update, given some back today, Pasquale. So why are you confident in reiterating the full year sales forecast? What are you seeing in terms of growth of the business?
Well, Sarah, thanks for having me. We're continuing to see unprecedented demand for our products and services, and that's on the back of unprecedented demand for electric vehicles in general in the population at large, both for consumers and fleets. So as we commented in our remarks on the earnings call, we saw demand greater than we were actually able to ship, given the supply chain constraints and our extraordinary growth rate. So as we see it, this growth trajectory will continue, and we're at the front end of a very, very long, protracted, multi-year growth cycle.
Obviously, installations are growing very fast. I think 70%, you said. What is the biggest challenge to meeting the incredible demand that you're seeing?
So for us, over the last few years, as the world has been grappling with a supply chain dislocation that, frankly, has been unprecedented in all our recent histories, we just basically are trying to maintain our build capacity in the face of that, the demand for our products, with that overhang of a very, very challenging supply chain environment, which we see narrowing over time in the foreseeable future. But right now, too hard to predict. So that's been the challenge for the last few years, and we expect that to continue.
So still supply chain. What about the Inflation Reduction Act? The stock is up sharply, along with a lot of other EV players after this got passed. What direct impact does this have on you?
Well, we focused over the 15-year history of the company of building a business that is based on a business model that doesn't require or depend on subsidies or stimulus to basically be robust. We think critical infrastructure for passenger vehicles as well as fleets can't depend in the long term on any subsidies or incentives. With that said, we think that this is good policy. It's balanced between vehicle incentives and infrastructure incentives. And it also really looks at fleets as well as passenger vehicles. We think it's reasonably comprehensive, and relative to whether it moves our needle or not really depends on how fast the supply chain situation for both us and auto OEMs clear up. Given that the demand exceeds supply, both the infrastructure and in the auto market, it may have an effect only after the supply chain situations start to subside and we can actually build to demand.
But you do see light at the end of the tunnel, you just said, on that front, right?
Yeah, we see light at the end of the tunnel. We just don't know how far away the light is exactly. Now these policies, they exist for a reasonable period of time. So we're hoping that as things clear up on the supply chain side, that people can really pull some investment forward. With that said, our growth rate is extraordinarily high, and we treat any additional stimulus as upside. It's not in any of our forecasts.